Welcome to the 13th Annual Downtown First Awards. This is the event where we take time to recognize and celebrate those individuals and businesses that put downtown York first. This is also usually the time where I would ask you all to turn off your cell phones or put them on vibrate. But instead, I'm going to ask you to take them out and start tweeting and Facebooking and Instagramming. And tonight's hashtag is DFA York, so tweet away. Before we begin the program, I'd like to make a few introductions and acknowledgments. First, help me welcome our dignitaries in the audience this evening. State Representative Kevin Schreiber. York City Mayor Kim Bracey. City Council President Carol Hill Evans.
Carol.
And City Councilman Henry Nixon and David Satterley. And Michael Helfrich, I'm sorry.
There you go, buddy.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate your attention, your attendance, and your interest. Our title sponsor of the event tonight is Gladfelter Insurance Group. Tony, thank you and your team for the ongoing support that you consistently provide to us each and every year. Thank you. And join me in thanking our premier partners, Louis and Jody Appel, M&T Bank, Fulton Bank, and Connie Wolf. Now meet the Board of Directors. Board President Gary Sonk of Stock and Leader, Vice President Krista Dar with Fulton Bank, Secretary Eric Menzer with the York Revolution, Treasurer Jason Lewis with Logos Academy, who regrettably could not be here this evening, Mandy Arnold with Gavin Advertising, Ron Friend, Friends the Salon, Mike Hine with Fulton Bank, Judd Lando with Insurance Services United, Kevin Schreiber with the State House of Representatives, Patty Stirk with Star Systems, and Ken Wessler from the Strand Capital Performing Arts. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the community leaders that give of their time and their expertise to provide the strategic direction for our organization, ensuring that each year we're growing, expanding our reach, and taking on new and substantive initiatives. Thank you. Now meet the staff. In charge of major projects like the North Bend Opportunity Area and Continental Square, our project administrator, Tim Miller. Managing our retail recruitment and retention, small business liaison, Natalie Williams. Managing our marketing and communications and special events and technical expertise here at the computer, Marketing Director Doug Knight. And the one that keeps us all in line, the indisputably indispensable Office Manager Jody Cheslow. And we're fortunate
on these two.
And I was just about to say that. And we're fortunate to have two interns with us from York College this semester, both seniors, both public relations majors, and both very creative and hardworking, Joe Philbin and Kim Nikolich. This is the team. This is the team that's on the ground on a daily basis working to orchestrate the Renaissance in your downtown. And I think they're doing a pretty good job. But we as staff can only do so much, and what we accomplish year in and year out is due to the more than 130 volunteers who sit on committees, brainstorm ideas, plant flowers, and hang holiday greens, and coordinate special events like this one. Many of you in this room are among them, and we thank you for your support. And we're grateful to the organizations that we partner with who share our vision for a thriving downtown. Better York, the Women's Giving Circle, the Cultural Alliance, the Community Foundation, the Economic Alliance, the city, the county, York College, and the Convention and Visitors Bureau. A downtown agency cannot work in a vacuum. And we appreciate the partnerships that allow us to leverage our resources for a greater impact on downtown York. And now, to talk a little bit about where we've been and where we're headed, the chair of our board, whose passion for our mission is exhibited each and every day by his abundant enthusiasm, his vision, his support, guidance, and insight. Always fun, always keeping things just a little more than interesting, Gary Sonk.
Well, thanks everybody for coming tonight. It's a pretty huge thing. I hope if I get away from the microphone, just somebody raise their hand and I'll get back up here. 17 years ago tonight, I was actually sitting in probably my den in Boulder, Colorado. And I was, in my 3 years, every 3 years, I'd look for a new job. And it happened in a couple of months from now, actually in mid-December, I would get a call from Ray Havis at Stock and Leader. And Ray called me and he said, this is Ray Havis from Stock and Leader in York, Pennsylvania. And I said, where? He said, York, Pennsylvania. We're just above Baltimore. I said, okay. And he invited me to come out. He invited me to come out and for an interview. And obviously I got the job. So I said, well, geez, Ray, I gotta, what do you want to do? And he said, well, I tell you what, I want to fly you out tomorrow, which was Friday, and we'll interview you on Saturday, and we'll get you back into Colorado on Sunday. I said, okay, that works. I mean, I didn't have to pay for it, so what the heck. So I took a flight out of Denver and flew into BWI. And it was really cool because Baltimore is kind of a sister city of Denver. You probably, maybe you don't know that, maybe you do, but it's kind of, we copied the stadium in Baltimore, yada, yada, yada. So it was really great. Felt really comfortable coming into Baltimore. Rented a car and I get my directions out and it gets me up to I-83 north. So Friday night, it's December, Friday night, and so I'm driving up, I'm sure I've never been here. I knew I'd never been here, but I've never been on 83. So I drive up and, I leave the city and it's like all of a sudden it's dark and it's black. And all I see is a blacktop in front of me, the two lines, really nice road, So I said, okay, well, we'll probably hit some city here in 50 minutes like they told me. So I'm driving along and it's 50 minutes. I'm like, where the hell is it? There's no lights, there's nothing. And then, my direction said George Street. And I'm like, oh, there it is. And so I curved off on George Street, which at the time, you probably don't remember, was just go straight instead of curving around to stay on 83. So I went straight, I went down, and I'm like, okay. And I drove and I hit the hospital, and then I'm driving down George Street and I'm like, well, I don't see any of the city stuff. So I get to what many of you, maybe some of you remember, you get to the sign, because George Street wasn't two ways, you get to the sign that says go right. So I go right, and again, this is like 10 o'clock at night, and then there's a sign 2 blocks later that says go left. So I'm on Duke Street, probably 10 o'clock at night, in December, in the dark, coming into my new Prospect. I can see some of you have done that. So I'm driving down and I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm sure I'll get to the city sometime. I mean, I know it's got to be here someplace. So I'm driving down and I get to the hotel. I'm like, oh, I'm here. And what was most interesting is looking across the street at the law office, which was this teeny little townhome over on the side. They flew this guy out from Denver to come to this little teeny townhome to work as a firm administrator. And I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? And the only savings thing was I didn't have to pay for all this. So I got checked into the hotel. I went outside. I thought, well, you know, it's Friday night. Go outside, see what there is to do. I walked outside of the front hotel and I looked right and there was nothing. I looked left and Friday night, York, Pennsylvania, not a soul in the downtown. So I go back up and I called my wife and I said, well, it's different. It's not the same, but I'll tell you after the interview how it goes. So in the next morning I interview with the partners and then, so I get the tour. And now I'm good. I'll get the tour and I'll find out what this place is all about. So we get in the car. Mike King at the time took me on the tour and I'm thinking, well, we'll go take a look. And we get in the car and we zoom out Queen Street away from York. So we zoom out Queen Street and he's going to show me the suburbs, places where I can build a home, something that looks natural to me, like in Colorado. It's you know, new homes and blocks and grass and all that stuff. And so we go and I'm like, that seems comfortable. I think we can do this. And then he took me over to the Galleria. Sorry, am I fading in and out? Is that? Yeah, sorry. I can do this. How's that working for you? So I go, he takes me to the Galleria. And I'm like, oh, the Galleria. There's a mall. It's a modern mall. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And then even better, and this story's over. You don't have to look at any of the slides or anything. So even better, then I get to go to the country club and have dinner. Okay, well, that's sealing the deal now. Of course, I didn't know that I would never be a member, nor would they ever accept me, but I went out and I had this great meal, and so I got back to the hotel, and I'm like, well, I think I can do this, but you understand by this story, I still haven't seen downtown. So I went back to Colorado, and that was my tour. I would like to tell you today that it is a completely different place. We just hired some new attorneys, just hired a new controller. We no longer climb in the car and leave the city. We walk out the front door, we come down to the shops, we come to this incredible venue that it was 16 years ago, this place was struggling. And we walk we have a ball game, we go to the ball game, we have this great theater that Ken puts on. I mean, we just have a tremendous venue. So, while I catch up on where I am, I got a little carried away. So anyway, it's different, it's better, it's really incredible. Maybe if I did that, I wouldn't hurt my neck. So who knew that 16 years later, as opposed to climbing out from my office in this little townhome from underneath the stairwell, that I would be in a great big modern office building in downtown York on the 6th floor and bringing new recruits into a really fabulous venue into a really fabulous downtown. Who knew that? The other thing that's really incredible is who knew we would have, sorry, man, that's hurting my ears. Who knew that we would have a baseball stadium right downtown? I mean, that is something that obviously I haven't been here, 16 years is a long time. I'm still probably not considered a native, but who knew that would happen? Who knew that would bring in they would have 72, Eric can correct my math, 72, I don't know, it's a lot. It's a lot of ball games every single season that bringing in 234,000, I think that's the number up there. Oh, 54. Well, somebody was correcting my typing earlier. 254,000 visits every season. And I mean, that might be enough for some people, but normal, but Eric's really not a normal guy. So he has to have 75 more events because the 72 ball games aren't enough. And then just to top it off, I mean, he brings in the fireworks out of the fairgrounds into the downtown district. And you have to understand, and from an outsider's point of view, holding this kind of stuff in the downtown district is really unprecedented. So that brought in another 10,000 visitors. I mean, who would have known that this one venue, this single venue that we have down here, would bring in 300,000 visitors into our city downtown every single year? I mean, that's a tremendous accomplishment. And the next one, which is also tremendous, and I see the guy standing over here, another wild man, Ken Wessler. When I got here, the Strand Capitol was struggling. I mean, that might be, I wasn't into the community that much when I got here. I knew it was struggling. It wasn't bringing in the big names, the big shows. It was only seasonal. Well, right now, it's open year-round. Who would have guessed that? I mean, open year-round, more than 70 shows each year, and these are big names that he's bringing in here, and over 140,000 visitors. Who knew that our downtown events, that we'd even have any? I mean, when I got here, I remember I got here in December, and until the managing partner kicked me out of the hotel and made me get an apartment and do my own housework, I was there for first night. And I will have to admit that first night was kind of cool because I had a window that overlooked it. But there weren't these kinds of events downtown. We have now record attendance at these events. The merchant participation is off the chart. We have First Fridays, Blue Market, Go Green in the City, walking tours, Swedish Pint, and if you sleep here overnight and stay here tomorrow, you can go down and have a whole many different kinds of venues at this food truck event that's happening on Pershing Street tomorrow night. This is just another example of the really incredible things that we have downtown. Who knew that this other crazy man, Rick Cunningham, would bring in the kind of numbers he's bringing in? Our hotel is obviously struggling, but he has already recorded an 8%, exceeded his occupancy by 8% this year. He's got a 19% increase in his food and beverages projections. In his projections, he's beat by 19%. And again, and for the third year in a row, he's Knott's Magazine's best of the Knott for weddings. So for a venue that is indeed has been having its struggles, tremendous numbers. Who knew that this place where we sit today would be what it is? I came here 17 years ago. I make sure somebody will be fact checking me on this. And I will tell you, when I walked through this market 17 years ago, it wasn't very impressive. I mean, there was not a lot of people, there was not a lot of choices, and it was not very impressive. It is incredibly different today. I mean, I walked through here the other day, and I think every time I walk through here, which is, they don't let me out much, so I get out about once a month. So they walk through here, and I see something new every time I come, and they aren't done yet. So I think that's Jessica Brubaker, and Joel Snyder is now the chairman of the board of the market, and they have done an incredible job. It's a perfect place. I made a note because I did actually read the history page. This used to be a place, it was interesting because there was an ordinance like in 1759 or something. But when it really cranked up and they made a place out of it, this was like the place everybody came. I mean, everybody came here to see people, to see neighbors, to buy stuff, and that's what it was. You know, it's really incredible. It's that way today. We have a virtual downtown. It's downtownyorkpa.com. And that has visitors too. And these numbers are pretty incredible also. We have on our virtual downtown 7,000 to 8,000 page views per month. The more incredible number that really shocked me was there are 31,000 unique visitors to our downtown, our virtual downtown, in the past 12 months. And it is inspiring to see that our first Fridays, we log 1,000 hits additional before every first Friday. There's a lot more to go. If you need to get a drink, settle in. Who would know that our market district, I'm glad that some of you know that I'm joking. Who knew that our market district, which is the George Beaver Market Street area, which is what we consider to be our market district, our sub-district, would be at 80% occupancy. I'm not sure how many of you know, but we are doing an average of 1 ribbon cutting every month, and that's big stuff. Here's a sampling of some of the businesses that have moved or to the area or expanded in this area. This is just some of the good stuff that's going on. These are tremendous venues. You know, I was actually done right now, but unfortunately I had some time to think about another one when I got up here. You know, who would know that safety was not a part of the conversation anymore? When I was here originally, it was the only conversation. And it struck me this morning, we aren't talking about that anymore. We're still doing a lot of stuff. You'll see some cops around. We got them all over the place. But this is not a part of our conversation. We're moving ahead for real quality of life, and that conversation is over. But just to let you know that it's constantly being worked on, we have a tremendous thing, and I think what we owe is a huge thanks to the mayor, to the police the police chief, sorry, there's a huge difference. The county commissioners and Sheriff Richard Kuhleber. We owe them a huge gratitude. They are here. Yes, thanks. They have done a tremendous job, and they continue to do that job. They continue to meet and fine-tune. They continue to work on the smaller problems that we have. We still have problems, but they're just smaller, and they're more nuisance-oriented. Turn the page here. Well, these are pretty big numbers. There are significant differences. There's a dramatic increase in the district's offering and its vitality. And it wasn't until I stepped back to remember what it was this place looked like when I got here. Roger Brooks, who came to town earlier a couple of years ago, said, you know what, you guys got to have a product before you start to market your downtown. Now we have a product. And Sunny, I think, is going to be here. Oh, good, I told her not to go too far away. Sunny's going to be here to show us some of the district's new marketing initiatives. Sunny?
Bring this down a little bit. Gary's right. When Roger Brooks was here in 2009, he specifically told us, don't do any marketing, don't do any advertising. In fact, he advised us that inviting people downtown before anything had really changed could have more of a detrimental effect than not advertising at all. He advised us to work on the product first, to get our house in order, and so we went to work on product development. building the critical mass of hospitality and retail, cleaning up the litter and the weeds, addressing the parking issues, and installing some public art. And now we have a quality product, and we're ready to go to market. At the beginning of this year, we gathered some of the most creative minds in York to develop a downtown branding campaign. Mandy Arnold and Meg Fieser from Gavin Advertising, Philip and Allison Given from the Susquehanna Photographic, and Nick Harrison from Partners in Harrison all came together, dedicated their creative talent and expertise, and put together a marketing campaign for downtown York. So a plug for all of them. They donated an inordinate amount of hours to this project. So there's a table at the door with all of their business information. I would urge you, if you have any marketing, public relations, photography needs, please take a look at the collateral on the table. So during the beginning of the phases of the development of the campaign, we kept hearing this recurring theme. The phrase, "I had no idea this was here," kept coming up. I had no idea Central Market had all these new vendors. I had no idea they had live entertainment on Saturday mornings. I had no idea there were all these really cool shops on Beaver Street. So the team put together some concepts and designs, and we ran them past some focus groups, and we did some market research. And what kept coming through was that element of surprise. So tonight we're proud to introduce the Who Knew campaign for downtown York. Who knew there were 221 beer taps in 1 square mile? Who knew that there are 66 places to eat? Actually, it's 67. We had a ribbon cutting since this ad's been printed. 67 places to eat within a quarter mile of Continental Square. Who knew that we have everything retail, from handmade soaps to bridal gowns to specialty foods? And who knew that you could find a bronze tinker and a larger-than-life bobblehead cat made out of yellow horseshoes in downtown York? These ads will run print in regional magazines and newspaper publications, and they've been created so that our downtown businesses can use them, if they choose, as co-op advertising. So if Liquid Hero wants to tap into the ad campaign, tap into the ad campaign. It was funnier when I practiced it. All they have to do is replace the photograph, plug in their logo, change the copy up, and they've got an advertisement all ready to go, and branding, furthering the overall downtown brand as well. These ads and more campaign information can always be found at downtownyorkpa.com/whoknew. And in addition to the print campaign, we are in the process of developing a series of television commercials that complement the campaign, and they're being created to target the younger adults and the younger demographic that we're working to attract to downtown York. Thanks to a grant from the Community Foundation, these 30-second spots will be able to place them in cable networks just in time for the holiday shopping season. So stay tuned through our social media channels and our e-news communications for the release of those commercial ads. So next, I'm going to introduce Adam Nugent and Mandy Arnold to take over for the actual award part of the op.
Clearly, Adam did not get the very fabulous shoe memo that went out today, so only I did. Yeah, I know. What happened? Okay, we're gonna struggle with the microphone a little bit, obviously, because of the height difference. So let's see how it works out. So I'm Mandy Arnold. I'm on the board for Downtown Inc.
I'm Adam Nugent, and I'm the Special Events Director at the York Revolution. I don't know if I need the mic. Do I need the mic? I need the mic. I'm Adam Nugent with the York Revolution, Special Events Director.
Okay. So we're going to jump right in. I know you guys have been waiting for a while. How do you like the new campaign that's going to be rolling out? So make sure you guys spread the word, visit the website, let everyone know who knew, tell them about all the great places downtown. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into the awards. Are you guys ready? Okay, let's get started. So at this time, what we're going to do is we're first going to recognize all the individuals who were nominated. We know we have an enormous list of extremely dedicated individuals, companies, and before we actually start applauding, because it is a long list, we're going to ask that you hold the applause until the end. So if you bear with us, we'll make our way through this extensive list of all the nominations. Can you? Okay, now you can hear me. Did you hear anything I just said? Okay. Let's try to put that up a little bit more. Okay. Oh, you know what? There we go.
Hey,
We're just
look
going
at
to take this out and start a little song and dance. Okay. Should we go back and forth, or you want me to go straight through?
Yeah, you just go left, right.
Okay. So our first nominee is Arthur and Daughters. Next, Casey Babinchuk with Central Market, Bears Fried Chicken, Mark Brumel, Jessica Brubaker, Central Market, Sherry Ann, Ben Shiro, C.S. Davidson Incorporated, Megan Fieser, Philip Gibbon, Gladfelter Insurance, Goods Mini Donuts at Central Market, Melissa Grove, Growing Up Green, Haynes Pipe and Cigar Shop, Josh Hankey, Hope Street Garden and Learning Lab, J.R. Fries at Central Market, and Ken Brueggemann Photography. Now hold your applause. The rest of the list.
See, we use the same pink highlighter.
That's right, we do.
John Kleindienst, Ladybug Baking Company and Cafe, The Left Bank, Liquid Hero, Blake McBride, York City Police, Mitre Property Management, LLC, My Girlfriend's Wardrobe,
That's funny.
Northwest Mutual, Nuts About Granola, The Parliament, Pennsylvania Arts Experience, Patrick Sells, Elsie Smith, St. John's Episcopal Church, the Strand Capital Performing Arts Center, Sean Undercoffer, York City Bureau of Health, Varsity Smoke Shack and Sandwiches, YCIDA, York Academy Regional Charter School, You Are Finally Cared About, or yafka.org. And now you can applaud. That's it.
You can go ahead, John.
Okay. Congratulations, everyone, and now let's find out which of these individuals and businesses have been selected to receive this year's Downtown First Awards.
Okay, so let's jump in. So tonight we're talking, the first award that we're going to announce is the Outstanding Large Business. And as you know, large businesses are important to our downtown. They bring jobs, they bring additional vibrancy, support, and many of them were sponsors this evening. They help to make sure that philanthropic endeavors, continue downtown. They continue to support individuals, other companies, and also provide mentorship programs. So tonight we're going to go ahead and we're going to start talking about the outstanding business that is the winner this evening. This winner of the 2013 Downtown First Award for Outstanding Large Business works to maintain strong ties with businesses and with nonprofit organizations downtown, and has long history of philanthropic giving in our community. For the 9th consecutive year, this organization has been named one of the best places to work in Pennsylvania. We are thrilled to announce that tonight's award winner for Outstanding Large Business is Gladfelter Insurance Group. Sorry, the script, we didn't write the script.
We didn't get it last night either.
No, it's not.
You know, Mandy, this award this award got me thinking. Impact into a community isn't just based on the sheer numbers of employees. It's grounded in a business's corporate culture or mission-driven commitment to its community.
Absolutely.
Well played.
In fact, our next award in the category of Outstanding Small Business, our nominees all showed that spirit of community, and that there is an amazing business there are amazing businesses throughout downtown, and they all make an impact, whether they won this award or not. Each of them are committed to helping other small businesses, making sure that Beaver Street thrives, George Street thrives. Throughout downtown, people are coming down here to actually encounter more and more of the small businesses that we do have. And it takes a complete dedicated team to make a small business a success.
This year's winner is a great example of the ability to do so much with a small, amazing staff. In fact, most folks may not even realize that this business is indeed this small. The assumption is that this is probably a lot more work. There's probably a lot more working on behalf of the organization than there is, simply due to its impact on the downtown and its footprint in the community. This organization touches us all. It speaks to the renewal and revitalization happening here in York. With its small staff, it truly can be seen as the example of connecting York's past with its future. Thousands pass through its doors, thousands see it as such an anchor to our downtown, and so do we. And all of it, is done with a handful of staff and a volunteer board. By the way, you're sitting in it. This year's Outstanding Small Business is Central Market. Congratulations, and please come forward and accept your award.
Does anyone know what year this market was instituted? Oh, you can't answer. You're not allowed, Casey. 1888. And the next organization that we're going to talk about, the Outstanding New Business, has obviously only been open for 1 year, so they have quite a few years to catch up to the Central Market.
The key to growth in our downtown, bringing in, feel kind of funny, bringing in new businesses and incubating cool ideas into business reality. From food to fashion and everything in between, York is a great place to start a business. And all the nominees to this award are wonderful examples of hard work paying off. Really, if you think about it, all new businesses are outstanding, but I guess that would change the fabric of an award presentation, wouldn't it? That you gonna make any sense?
Funny you should mention fabric. This winner is someone I know everyone here knows that I frequent quite often. Our Outstanding New Business Award winner knows a thing or two about fabric. In fact, they have many fabrics in their store, often known for their Christian Dior, Oscar de la Renta, Chanel, Jason Wu, and many, many more. This business has brought flair and style that complements the fabric of our community, as mentioned earlier, right over on Beaver Street. And most importantly, this business is such a wonderful supporter of downtown initiatives, including Boutique Week, which was a fabulous event. I'm thrilled to announce the 2013 Downtown First Award of Outstanding New Business goes to Arthur and Daughters.
Looking good.
So I think Allison wants us to stand on the right side.
There you go.
Fabulous outfits. Thank you. Thanks very much. Congratulations, Hillary.
Adam thought he was going to get that award for his attire. No,
Come on.
No,
I wore my best black shirt.
I know.
Okay.
The next one category.
The next award category is Outstanding Nonprofit Organization. If business is the lifeblood of a community, then it's nonprofit organizations that make a city breathe. We are so lucky to have as many wonderful nonprofit organizations supporting the residents of our community. From youth services to the arts, from education to the environment, large and small nonprofits move the needle in our community's growth, and we appreciate all their work in partnership with us all. This year's winner for Outstanding Nonprofit Organization might best represent the idea of helping to build a community's identity. Its own history is one that mirrors our city. The ups and downs, openings, renovations, closings, reopenings. This organization has followed the ebbs and flows of our community. But in the end, it, like the city itself, has become a true testament to celebrating the arts, connecting the community, and breathing new life and vitality into our downtown. Dedicated staff and incredible volunteers allow for this organization to flourish and to share the arts in a venue that showcases our city's past and present. This year's award for Outstanding Nonprofit Organization goes to the Strand Capital Performing Arts Center. Congratulations, and please come forward. We could use some help on a performance a little later if you got time.
Little song and dance. Yeah. Our next award is the Better York Beautification Award. The Better York Beautification Award was created just a few short years ago as a way to recognize and honor partnerships between Downtown Inc., creating local businesses, organizations, and residents to improve the appearance of our downtown community. This year's award is indeed a special one. Improvements to the appearance of York give residents and guests a sense of progression and growth. Obviously, cleaner streets, parks, newly planted trees, all of these activities go a long way to communicating that our downtown is thriving. This also shows that our community is moving forward. This year's award recipient also shows this sense of progression, but ties that into not only into the landscape of the present, but also a commitment to the community of the past and the future. This is because the product also supports our city's future, its children. This organization is literally tying together the growth of our children's education with the growth of our community. Sorry. We can't think of a better way to show growth in our city. It's a playground, and it's a playground with history, a sense of space, and a beautiful story. To honor the memory of Mr. William Simpson, an avid train lover and city leader, the playground is named Simpson Station, and the railroad theme is incorporated throughout the playground's design. This organization sits along the active trail lines and literally connects York to the wider world. The centerpiece of the playground is an LSC-designed Simpson Station, a train platform-inspired structure. As one of the nominations stated, the development of the playground is in memory of Bill Simpson has been a welcome addition to the block, both aesthetically pleasing and functional to the community. The playground has been much needed downtown. I am pleased to announce that this year's Better York Beautification Award goes to York Academy Regional Charter School.
Congratulations, York Academy, for not only keeping our city clean, but thank you for keeping our kids in a great school downtown. My wife and I sent our kids to York Academy, and it's just an incredible place to be, and we appreciate it. This is where we say, let's do it.
All right. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Merchants are what define a community. The places we go to eat, shop, and live out our lives with our friends and families, guests and clients. Merchants are what help us build our city's voice. It's through their hard work, your hard work, that we are able to celebrate not only tonight, but celebrate all that is happening here in downtown York. This year's winner has been a wonderful part of the York restaurant scene for years, providing a unique culinary experience for downtown visitors, residents, and employees. The experience is the key in their success. This restaurant prides itself on allowing its patrons to feel its contemporary atmosphere, for guests to above and beyond expectations, and most importantly, to have that memorable experience. They sure do that. Restaurants to a city provide the senses with aromas and smells that take visitors on a journey to what the city longs to define itself as, a great experience. Food and great places for food can build this. And for over 13 years, this restaurant has helped define York and is a great place to find a great meal. This year's Downtown First Award for Outstanding Merchant goes to the Left Bank. Congratulations.
Pretty sure I'm not going to have to really force my husband to go get some calamari after this, and maybe 1 or 2 glasses of wine, so we'll see. I'm sure I'll see him later. Now let's get to the presentation of the outstanding individual within a company or organization. We have a joke here, but we're not going to say it. Merchants and businesses are only as good as the employees that they have. I can say that as a business owner. I can tell you that my company is only going to be as good as the individuals that I hire and that contribute to the team atmosphere. Rockstars not only do the work that's placed in front of them, they help make sure that their companies look like rock stars. They work for other ways to make sure that people connect in their community, and they make sure that they're advocating for those surrounding them. Advocating and supporting nonprofit organizations or volunteering for an event or cause. These individuals see themselves as people that are not just there to be involved in their community, they feel a connection to the individuals that they're actually supporting. They know that their community is essential in order for it to be a place that they want to be long term. Our nominee for the award for Outstanding Individual within a company or organization all show the zeal and belief in supporting their community. I'm sure our selection committee had a very difficult time, and I know this because I know several people that were nominated for this award, and there were an outstanding list of individuals that were nominated. Our rock star is one who truly cares about the future of the city and has a passion for downtown. As one of the nominations stated, I cannot imagine that the downtown would be as vibrant as it has recently become without this rock star. Rock star might be the perfect way to describe our winner. I'm very pleased to present the award for Outstanding Individual within a company or organization to be Ben Shiro of Rock Commercial Real Estate. Congratulations, Ben. You keep going. Outstanding volunteer, where are we? The final award is indeed a special one, especially for Downtown Inc. and its mission. The fact is, nothing can be accomplished, nothing, without the amazing amount of volunteers we have here in York. This kind of award is going out to someone special. Do we do this? Oh.
Yeah, I can't see.
Sorry, it's in 10-point font. All of you are especially amazing volunteers working very hard to make things happen across the downtown. And I'm sure when I speak on behalf of Downtown Inc. team when I say that every single one of these individuals is extremely special. This year's winner shows the perfect example of dedication, and this is outstanding. Hold on. Outstanding volunteer. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Sorry, this is outstanding volunteer. I meant to tell you that a second ago. As I was saying, this year's winner shows the perfect example of dedication to the community, working hard as a merchant, volunteering time with organizations, supporting efforts by others in downtown, and always willing to do just a little bit more, going above and beyond what's expected of themselves. It isn't enough to be a business owner. She's also a business partner, working with her fellow Beaver Street merchants on a number of projects throughout the year, Outstanding Boutique Week, First Fridays, and of course, Go Green in the City. It takes a very special kind of person to dedicate the amount of extra time that they've been taking and many extra causes and events. It takes someone who loves her community and adds to the impact and growth, not just being part of the community, but knowing that experiencing downtown is extremely important and making sure that she contributes to that. So it's my pleasure to announce that the 2013 Downtown First Award for Outstanding Volunteer goes to the owner of Sweet Melissa's Dream, Miss Melissa Rowe. Before we wrap up this evening, I'd like to ask everyone to give a huge round of applause for all of the nominees and the winners this evening. Now I'd like to invite Gary back to the stage, get us out of here.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. Wow, these kinds of things are really nice. It's always good after accomplishing so much to sit back and reflect and have some gratitude for some of the stars that we have in our downtown district and that have made this what it is today. I did want to take just a minute more, probably another 20, 30 minutes, if everybody's into that. We're not done. This isn't the end of the deal. This is just the start of the next one. So we can all just relax and go home tonight, and then we really need to get started again in the morning. We do have a plan, actually. This isn't over. It's not done. We've accomplished an incredible amount. This is it's a beautiful place to be. There's a lot of unbelievable people here, but we're not done. But we do have a plan. Hold on. Let me get the plan here. Yeah, we do have a plan. The next plan is to have waiting lists. We're going to have waiting lists for downtown living in a full range of apartments and condominiums, a waiting list at our restaurants, shows, movies, ball games, pubs, crowded sidewalks, no places to sit in the parks, a waiting list for new businesses. The taxes will be the least of our problems. We have a plan to have real parking problems, traffic congestion, too many bicycles, and we are on our way. Downtown Inc., along with some of the county's biggest and most influential businesses and organizations, has carved out the next steps towards our goal. And that is going to take place between the square, down there by the stadium where Eric is, and the Codorus Creek. And you can see that. You see that green line there? That's part of the plan. That's the Codorus Creek. and Continental Square, and then George Street. You'll hear this area referred to going forward as the North Bend Opportunity Area. We have 4 major multi-year, multi-million-dollar projects planned for this area. And I'll go through them very quickly and one at a time. The first part of the plan is to develop 5 new diverse mix of 500 new homes, housing units for rental or purchase within an affordable pricing range for young professionals and guys like me. This is going to be the new latest urban living. I think you've seen some of these in the Kodo projects. There's a whole lot more to come. These projects are in demand. The ones that have been built are fully occupied. And most importantly, and this goes to the commerce and the desirability of being in an urban area, are that these residents spend 8 times more at the local businesses than those people that come into work every day and then leave town. The most critical component is to overcome the financing and development obstacles by establishing a fund to support these projects. This is going to be a substantial project, but it's going to be really cool. The second one is to establish an attractive, inviting public spaces in the opportunity area with pocket parks, a linear park, as we pointed out there, along the Codorus Creek, from Philadelphia to George Street. And finally, to extend the rail trail from its current terminus at Philadelphia Street and go all the way to George Street through this new beautiful park. Third is to develop the entire area, for pedestrians and bicyclists, addressing a blending of the streets and sidewalks for accessibility, new wayfinding, and signage to address future parking needs, which we're going to have a lot of, and safety. And finally, the last project is Continental Square. And this is a reclaiming of the Continental Square, which is going to involve outdoor lighting, architectural lighting, water features, and businesses on the square that actually make sense for people. So cafes and restaurants, these are the kinds of things, and you can see some of the workups of what we envision for the square. So, excuse me. So I guess that is our big news, our big plan for waiting lists, and I can only say, as a wrap up, that this place has been completely transformed already in the last 16 years since I came here. And as you've witnessed and seen tonight, the downtown district is a vibrant place for our community. Everyone in this room is responsible for where we are today. And we're going to, and we have honored some of those people tonight, but there is so many people involved in this effort that is what has made this all possible. But we must always strive to do better than our best. And we have a lot of work ahead. So we need to double down on our devotion. We need to heighten our resolve and deepen our commitment to this exciting future. So I am honored and humbled to be a part of this group and in this place today to address all you people. But I wanted to thank each and every one of you for your efforts and for coming this evening. And I would like to make sure that we all thank all the people that did all this organization to make this happen. So a big round of applause for you and everybody else that made this happen. Thank you very much.
I hope you all had a great time tonight. Mark of a good event is the result of many, many hours of planning and coordinating. Will you please help me thank the volunteers that Gary just mentioned? Krista Dar, Emily Kirstenbauer, Allison Gibbons, Kim Lentz, and Caroline Morris. Central Market for hosting us, the Copper Crust for feeding us, to Brewery Products and Allegro Wine Shop for ensuring we all had a good time, and to Philip and Allison of the Susquehanna Photographic for capturing the evening's festivities for promotion and posterity. Special thanks to Marketing Director Extraordinaire Doug Knight for managing and coordinating the entire event and pulling together the presentation. One last thing, I just want to make sure that all the winners...
Can we thank Sunny for all this?
I just want to make sure that all of the winners come up for one last group photo, so don't leave. Lastly, thank you all for being here. Thank you for your continued support of Downtown Inc. and your continued commitment to downtown York. Thank you all for coming, and be safe going home.